Basically, I'm going to teach a few laws from the Rambam. From a couple of days ago, the laws from the Rambam were about living in Israel and the importance of living in Israel. Now that we're in Israel, I wanted to mention that. I thought it's relevant. So the Rambam says, it's forbidden to leave Israel and to go to outside of Israel at any time. You're only allowed to go out of Israel if once you're here as a Jew, you're not allowed to leave. You're only allowed to leave for the following reasons. Number one, to learn Torah. So if the place to learn Torah is better outside of Israel. Number two, this is an issue to get married. If you find your life partner outside Israel. And number three, and if your money was stolen, you got to get your money to bring it back. And it's part of money for business. So if you have income in Australia, you don't have income in Israel, so you're allowed to go for that. Basically it covers all bases. But just to live outside of Israel for no good reason, that is forbidden for a Jew to do. Unless it's very terrible famine in Israel and it's impossible to live here. That's obviously if it's able to live here and you're able to do business. But if it's impossible, then you're allowed to leave Israel. Nevertheless, even though it's permitted to leave Israel, it's not the most high spiritual thing to do is to stay, because this is the Holy Land. The great sages, when they would come to the borders of Israel, they would kiss the ground as we did, and they would kiss its stones and they would roll in its dust, and it says, it's a verse which refers to your servants' desire, your stones, and its dust you have brought grace to. Wise rabbis said, anyone who dwells here in Israel, your sins will get removed. Even if you walked 4 cubits, which is 2 meters, if you walk 2 meters in the land of Israel, which you've all done, you just by that virtue of doing that, you merit to the world, to the soul to go to the world to come. And anybody who's buried in Israel gets atonement, and that's why many people from around the world get buried on the Mount of Olives, the next mount right next door to the Temple Mount, because it's a very holy place. And when Mashiach will come, we believe in the resurrection of the dead. They're all going to get up and come straight across to the holy temple, which will be rebuilt right in this place. Nevertheless, the great sages would send would ask to be buried in Israel. We see from Jacob and Joseph, they died in Egypt, but they asked to be buried in Israel. So I thought that was interesting to talk about the holiness of the land of Israel, which we're in. And now I'm going to learn the last laws of this whole encyclopedia of Jewish law, the Rambam, Maimonides, which today is the end of the cycle. And it's very special for me, for the first time in my life, after 20 years of trying, to finally finish the cycle from beginning to end. And I'll read the last 2 laws in the Rambam. The last 2 laws goes as follows. Osazman refers to the times of the coming of Mashiach, which we're all waiting for, the ultimate, the zenith of history. And it says, Osazman, at that time when Mashiach will come, it's going to be a perfect world. There won't be any famine, no war, no jealousy, and no competition. There'll be just good in the world and great abundance of it. For all the delicacies will be found like the dust of the earth. The whole effort of the whole world will be just to know God. That's what people are going to be busy with. And we're going to be very wise, and we're going to know the deep secrets of creation, of the universe. We'll understand the Creator as much as a human being can do. As the verse says in the prophet, that the world will be filled with the knowledge of God, like the waters cover the sea. Okay, so that was actually not the second last. That was actually the last one. So I've said the last one, and now we say, so we've finished it. Berich Rachamona Design. We bless, thank God that we finished. Nikma Sefer Arbosah Be'ezes Shaka Minyan Prokim Esher Sefer Zerach Hashmonim Hilchas and Hedrish Shev Esher Prokim Hilchas Deish Esher Prokim Hilchas Mam Shev Prokim Hilchas Eivel Esher Prokim Hilchas Malachim Muhammad Shem Esher Prokim. So that has been done, and very, very special. Rabbi Chananim and Akasha Omer. Kasha taught us that Hashem wanted to give merit to the Jewish people. Therefore, He gave us a lot of Torah to learn and a lot of mitzvahs, good deeds to do, so we should have lots of merit. Shneimar, as the verse says, and now we say the special prayer, the Kaddish that you say when you finish learning Torah. So I'm going to say that, and it goes as follows. You face the wall. Yiskadal v'yiskadal Shmei Rabba. Yomal Dibrachi Rusev Yamlech Malchusev Yasach B'Konim V'Karav Meshichai. V'chayechin L'mechin L'chai D'chol B'Is Yisrael B'Agol Z'Makarim V'Imru Amen. V'Yishma L'chom Ha'Yisbar B'Ishav V'Yisbar V'Yisrael Mom V'Yisnan Sev V'Yisadar V'Yisal V'Yisalosh V'Yidekut Shav